What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Roots. So I'm going to review a collaboration mixtape between rappers Future and Juice Wrld. Basically, this product is called Wrld on Drugs, and it came out in the fall of 2018. So the thing about this product here is just the fact that this is a particular project that had some excellent timing about it as far as what's going to happen. Basically, within the particular fair, this is more seen as like a commercial mixtape, but it's one of the few projects that Juice Wrld managed to put out within his lifetime as far as what's going to happen. Basically, he only dropped one more further project after this one in terms of that, which was basically his 2019 album Death Race for Love as far as what's going to happen. It was excellent type of appeal just right off the bat because particularly Juice Wrld had like some huge hits around that time like Lucid Dreams and All Girls Are the Same and some of those type pitches that he was dominating like the spring and summer 2018 pitches like that. Now this is a victory lap for Future as far as what's going to happen. He was predominant throughout the mid and late 2010s with albums like Dirty Sprite 2 and the Future and Hendrix albums and What a Time to Be Alive with Drake, some of those type pitches just for the format as far as saying it's consistent kind of fair. The aspects behind this mixtape is it blends, the particular aspects about this mixtape is it blends pretty excellently like the trends between like Future and his prime out of the mid and late 2010s and also Juice Wrld and like his blossoming and also like Juice Wrld and like his blossoming kind of appeal that he had with some of his widespread singles off his 2018 album and pitches like that as he was dominating like cloud rap and like the makeshift radio scene in the late 2010s. So it's just the pitch as far as saying this has some pretty good commercial appeal about it on here. Some of Juice Wrld lends this particular album a series of hooks that have like some radio appeal like his 2018 album. Juice Wrld lends this album a particular series of hooks like his 2018 album Goodbye and Good Riddance as far as what's supposed to happen. Now within the pitch you could say are these hits as big as like Lucid Dreams and All Girls Are the Same and Lean With Me, some of those type ones. It's within the pitch as far as saying it's a good aspect here. I definitely think that Fine China was a good example within that particular pitch. It's definitely an excellent kind of offshoot for Juice Wrld as far as what's supposed to happen, but it's also a pretty good pitch just because, you know, Future as capital as he was in like the 2010s pitches like that, it just seemed like his most commercial song. I question. He did start to get number ones later on. There was like a song he did with Drake that came out in 2020. I remember hitting number one and pitches like that. Usually when he teamed up with Drake, he would have some of those type of appeals. But when I think of Future from like the Honest days and the Pluto days and the Dirty Sprite 2 days, some of those type pitches, just within the format, he did not typically have like top 10, top 15 singles on the Billboard 100. So if he was starting to get to that point, I have not messed with those projects yet to see. Like particularly the only projects I have left, Evolve from 2016 kind of had some of that type of appeal. From what I remember, that had like a decent charting single off of it with The Weeknd, some of those type pitches. But the only two albums I haven't fucked with by Future from everything he's done between Pluto, his debut album, to this particular album in the fall of 2018 is just the two Future Hendrix albums from 2017. So unless those had like some, I want to say those had some pretty big appeals about, but for the most part it was kind of within the pitch of Future kind of being like a commercial kind of mainstream highlight within the pitch behind it. It's just kind of more in the format that definitely when you think of hardcore rap and trap music and mixtape scene, all those type of products, Future was pretty gigantic. It was just the pitch that Juice Wrld just came on the scene pretty immediately just with the pitch and just, you know, captured like the market of like consistent kind of commercial radio, some of those type pitches that was just mainstream and like the makeshift type fair. So it's just a pitch. It's an excellent, like I said, excellent timing of the blend to have this happen because it basically puts Future into like a spotlight into like in like the 2010s and the late 2010s and 2020s type atmosphere as far as trying to get towards that with something that would have kind of had more kind of something that would have had more work a day and kind of more blue collar, not so much full bound blue collar, but just the pitch of just having a little bit more kind of being more within like SFW radio type sense that seemingly being more SFW kind of radio type sense. And it's not to say Future wasn't capable of that, but just the pitch as far as like I was saying, a lot of times the trap music is just not super common that I would think on like rhythmic radio and kind of more pop radio stations, places where you'd hear folks like Adele and John Legend and like Meghan Trainor and like Akon, some of those type folks where you would hear a Future type tune. Like the likelihood of me thinking I was going to hear like, you know, Same Damn Time and Tony Montana just probably isn't like, but I look at them pitch, not like he doesn't have the hits. He definitely does. Just the aspect that it's just a good fusion in this particular fair. So it's just the aspect, but this is a very, very mildly promoted type project within the tone. It's this kind of aspect that this came out around the timing that just the pitch behind it was just so through the motions. It's just kind of the pitch because just a few months after this, Future put out the Wizard album from like the winter of 2019, which was just within the pitch. And this album really, now later on, like Wikipedia says in like the normal tab of this that it only had one single, but it says in like the article on the same page that had a second single that was attempted called No Issue as far as what's supposed to happen. But it just felt like the promotion run of this, considering the dynamic and just the star-studdedness of this product was just lighter kind of seemed to be lighter kind of shown than what was particularly necessary within the pitch as far as was first. It's definitely some excellent type appeal. This is a blitzing type one. Definitely great. This is definitely, I would have to say, like a warning label kind of mixtape and party album to kind of get within those aspects. You should find plenty of songs on here. It's super tore up to pitch like that. It's just the carnage of it just to miss those particular times as far as like the blitzkrieg typeness that kind of goes along with it. So it's just an aspect here. Easy kind of appeal. Juice Wrld with his addledness, Future with his Tibble, Juice Wrld with his addledness, and Future with his routine kind of stock disc blitzers and pitches like that, the heavy type bannerness. The only thing I really feel like this particular mixtape lacked is maybe something like Future that he would have had like Same Damn Time and Go Harder, some of those type pitches, just like a strip club rumbler. I mean, I guess Juice Wrld was not 21, so it's kind of within the pitch as far as saying, but just the product of this, if you're looking for Future, like when you think of some of those type ones after that, some of those type ones that he would have, like Future would have like Tibble type Rage or something within that product of kind of getting to something that would be something like songs like Shit and Jumpman and Same Damn Time, some of that pitch just within the format as far as saying that just the fares behind it does not have that. But other than that, this is pretty, like, this is definitely adult type product, but in terms of like the Frosty, just kind of within the pitch. But I look after it here, just being able to say, but yeah, clean enough to say I recommend all 16 of the songs off here as far as those fares kind of happen, so I just look after it. I'm going to talk about both these singles. Like I said, Wikipedia said that a single that was attempted, or at least there might have been a music video for it, some sort of promotion was within pitch. They were saying the attempted single for the second follow-up after Fine China was no issue. But basically, Fine China lead single. Fine China was the lead single. This is a top 30 single in the Billboard 100. Pretty good for that particular fare. Definitely some banner typeness, like a refined kind of day shift shop music, I'd have to say here, in a trap sense, I'd say. Just spin off kind of. It's definitely like spin-off kind of Juice Wrld. It's kind of a bonus song within his brief packaging as far as what's first going to happen within the aspect behind it. And it's also like some Cloud Rap Pluto as far as what's first going to happen. So when I say Cloud Rap Pluto, what I mean, if you don't know Future, one of his nicknames being Pluto's the pitch as far as saying Cloud Rap Future pitch like that. This is a format of getting Future, like particularly Juice Wrld in senses kind of has like remnants or just aspects of some of that affluence from like Future of the mixtape lore of like the early 2010s and late 2000s pitches like that within the format. It's this kind of aspect as far as saying, I mean, I would say that Goodbye and Good Riddance had similarities to like Future's Pluto album from 2012. I would say that Juice Wrld's Goodbye and Good Riddance album from 2018 had similarities to Future's Pluto album pitches like that. It was just kind of one. Pluto from 2012 was definitely one that helped shape-shift a lot of particular aspects about the 2010s as far as what's first going to happen. But just within the pitch as far as saying that it's definitely a good aspect to kind of get Future on like a cloud rap type song, because Juice Wrld spawned like a genre as far as what's supposed to happen between folks like Post Malone, Juice Wrld, Playboy Cardi, some of those type folks, cloud rap. I mean, Juice Wrld was alive in 2018, so it's kind of the pitch as far as saying he was trying to usher in this particular sound of the movements that he was kind of doing. This is a great follow-up to kind of get those fair as far as saying this is the next thing. This basically just 4 or 5 months after Goodbye and Good Riddance came out in the spring of 2018. It's this good type pitch. So this is like the next packaging of like a series of further Juice Wrld songs. It just feels like within the pitch that, like, just to say this is not posthumous Juice Wrld. This is actually something that he saw to fruition as far as what's going to happen. So it's just an excellent type pitch to be able to get this here. Very much spin off Juice Wrld within the pitch as far as what's going to happen. It's just excellent type of appeal, getting cloud rap kind of Future as far as what's going to happen. Just basically taking Future on like a song that you would have gotten from Juice Wrld off of Goodbye and Good Riddance, some of those type fares, but just kind of in a more head shop type places like that. It says Fine China, applying like a Fine China type shop, places where there'd be antiques and breakables, some of those type pitches. It's kind of interesting type tangent for some of that type fare, but it's just within the pitch as far as saying this feels like more kind of 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon type fare, just some kind of. It's a little bit more kind of blue blood type places, or just the aspect a little bit more graceful within a sense behind it. This has a little bit more chivalry about it, which is an interesting type pitch, but has some good type appeal. Definitely good. This has some commercial vibe about it. I feel like Juice Wrld does the hook on this song Fine China, and Future helps out with the ad-libs, pitches like that. Definitely some excellent type of appeal. He does drop a verse on songs. It's not like Future's not on this song. I mean, these folks are not combined on every single song, with the pitch behind it. The chemistry is definitely on here. They do oftenly pop up on their songs, so it's just the pitch. You get Juice Wrld on some Future songs that Future's natural at, and you get some songs that Future's on that Juice Wrld is natural at. So it's just good pitch as far as what's going to happen. Just being able to say about a look after it. So yeah, it's just kind of the pitch of just getting like an offshoot kind of Juice Wrld song. This good product for that, and good Future on some of that type fare. So no issues. The second single. This is another offhanded type one within the pitch. It's another interesting type choice. This feels like a Hendrix kind of Future, I'd say. Now I don't know his full bound, but just the fact you would think if Future named his albums Future Hendrix within those appeals, that it would have some sort of like trippy kind of just like aspected kind of more head shop and more places like that kind of hookah and smoke bar type aspects within some of the tone, just telling by the album covers, pitches like that. With I want to say Mask Off might have hit number one now that I think about this within some of the pitches, so I need to get to listening to those. But this feels like Hendrix feature. I'd say this kind of trippy, kind of head chop type music within the tone. This kind of an offhanded kind of social noise kind of get here to something that feels like the product of it. There's like a song, don't remember its full bound, but Kanye West and Jay-Z had some of these type moments off of like the Watch the Throne type fare, just kind of more head shop and just hookah lounge, some of those type places where you go to, pitches like that. Good Spotify bleed as far as those fares can happen. So just within pitch, as far as saying, I just look after it here. This local bound type noise within pitch behind it. It's kind of the product of this, like kind of within a quick type pacing, just kind of the motions of, it's kind of the pacing of just feeling, this kind of pacing of feeling froggy and ready to have like some wanderlust within a relative type pitch. It's just kind of the product, maybe rolling up some green and figuring out what you're going to do within some of those type formats. Good type pitch. Yeah, simple enough. I recommend every song off this product. So 10 out of 10 here. Is that just what I'd say? An immediate type 1 off this product. Now, it's unfortunate that Juice Wrld is not on this song, but this is still a blitzing type 1 is Oxy. This features Lil Wayne, which is a good type grab here. It's like a super head trip kind of hookah and head shot malign to kind of get here. Definitely dungeon type music, just getting tore up. I'd say just basic kind of sludgy hangout type fare within the pitch. So definitely the product. Some of these type 1s, there are some future kind of trap bleeders on here as far as those assets going to happen. Just amidst like the sort of fare that you'd expect from like, you know, drug juggernauts like Dirty Sprite 2 and Monster. Definitely the product of some drug juggernauts like Dirty Sprite 2 and Monster and some of those type 1s, and features 2016 mixtape that I forget what that one's called, but Purple Rain, some of those type 1s within pitch as far as those first games. So just within the aspect, but I look after it. Yeah, but just a very dismantled song I say about Oxy. Definitely disappointment that Juice Wrld, wasn't on there, but definitely getting tore up. Lil Wayne, Future doing their thing. Definitely excellent type. Lil Wayne, Future definitely getting super hammered pitches like that. Excellent type of appeal. 7 a.m. freestyles, real nice ones. Like a malaise kind of hungover morning slog, I'd have to say here. Just it's like a usual kind of fiery pace. I'd say just groggy but capable kind of. I'd say the mode about this song feels kind of groggy but capable within those aspects, as if like still being able to not just want to go back to sleep some of those affairs, but definitely within pitch for saying just within the motions of it, just a little bit of just like that morning dew pitch like that, and the song snares pretty well. So this is an excellent type 1. Definitely feels like consistent kind of mixtape, future trap bangers within some of those type products. Just further offshoots of some of those type formats. This good aspect, get these here. It's a real get tore up type 1 within those fashions, I'd have to say. Astronauts is a quality 1. It's like a sparkly and starry kind of mixtape gliss kind of get here with like some radio appeal. This feels like an extra cut off of Goodbye and Good Riddance, so some good type of appeals for that. And it's like a good early kind of evening grubs pitches like that, I'd have to say, within the product of it. So this format, just like some easy kind of snackage pitches like that. It's kind of one of those type 1s that feels like probably Lean With Me, some of those type tunes within the pitch behind it. Just the aspect of it says that same sort of starry kind of sleepiness within the aspect of thinking of something like All Girls Are the Same pitches like that. The same sort of radio appeal, some of those particular type aspects. This Future being brought along for the ride as far as this person have an excellent type appeal. I'd say here, I like the concept of Young Scooter being on this product. Definitely excellent type appeal for jet lag. It's like a warped and rattled kind of cloud trap saunter kind of get here. Just neighborhood feeling nice. I'd say pitches like that. Just kind of some neighborhood feeling nice pitches like that. I had to say it's kind of like some late shift creep around as far as this pitch comes. So just an aspect, it's basically getting like a mixtape kind of saunter, some of those type cuts that you would have gotten out of like the early 2010s, some of those type of appeals that just like snack run, some of that type fare, just in like a cloud trap. It's kind of like a cloud, just in like a cloud rap kind of sense. And it's not even to say really cloud rap as much as it is cloud trap. So it's just kind of the fusion of like the particular style that Juice Wrld would kind of do with the particular style that Future did throughout like the 2010s with like Dat Piff mixtapes, some of those type of appeals. Dirty Sprite 1, Astronaut Status, some of those type 1s. Dirty Sprite 1, Astronaut Status, Streets Calling, some of those type moments within the pitch. Yeah, but just good for like some late shift creeping pitches like that. Just 8:30 p.m. picking up like some bugles, some of those type formats, getting like a Butterfinger, something like that. Some of those type aspects, just getting crunk within those moments. It's definitely an aspect of some of those type tones. Red Bentley with Young Thug. And the good product about this product here is just the fact that back in 2018, this is back when the folks are around, just the fact that you get these appearances. Nicki Minaj is on here, Gunna's on here, Young Thug is on here, so folks were still fucking with Gunna around this time, which is dope. I continue to fuck with them, but pitches like that is back when, you know, Gunna was in his prime doing his, this is back when Gunna didn't have as much flack doing his thing. Young Thug is on here, like I was saying. Lil Wayne in his prime, or his like 3rd or 4th era prime, was doing his thing. Young Scooter was alive, and Young Scooter was around and doing his thing. So just definitely some of those type pitches. I almost question, I'm trying to think of who some of Juice Wrld's palates would have kind of been around this particular time, just in the aspect. I don't know if he had like slime and pitches like that, just folks that were like his usual kind of palates pitches like that. From what I remember, it kind of, I mean, that's the only thing maybe possibly that this is missing. It's just like a routine kind of collabo. Like, I know that Lil Uzi Vert was on Goodbye and Good Riddance from 2018, but apart from that, I just would question who else could have been from like the Juice Wrld angle that could have been on here. But it's a good type pitch. But Red Bentley's a nice one. It's like a woozy and tormented kind of trap snarl to kind of get. Definite nice one to smoke if you had to say to stock kind of late 2010s floss commerce as far as what's first going to happen. So just a Tibble type fare, just kind of cruise around pitch like that. Just Tibble kind of floss and flex type music within the product of it. Just good type appeals for some of that. Red Bentley is like a consistent kind of late 2010s trap banger within Someone's type formats. Just feels like a good extra type tune from Dirty Sprite to Someone's type pitches, and just consistent prime future within Someone's aspects. Definitely excellent type appeal. Wrld on Drugs is a quality one. Definitely like the title track of this song on here. It's probably a good favorable type one. This is the immediate type one in terms of like the most. Like this mixtape definitely has some pretty rickety type blitzers, but this is definitely one that has like some good dismantleness about it. It's like a dismantle and rickety kind of getting tore up, I'd say, within the pitch behind it. Just some hangout fare, I'd definitely say here, just in between kind of house party moments. Just in the pitch as far as saying just in between within the fashion and just kind of feeling the stuff in your system as far as what's supposed to happen. Just kind of the moments of, it's kind of that standard enjoyment of just like checking cell phone extra type moments of just the Tibble kind of ambience within the product of it, just kind of routine kind of turn up within the fashion, just good type tones for some of that. This one is not as heavy kind of trap within the raginess of it, but it just kind of feels like one of those type ones that just feels like an in-between kind of album cut, some of those type fares of it. This one's more trippy, more so than anything else, but I look at them pitch, definite nice one. Shorty's a nice one as well, as like a basic vintage kind of sleepy Juice Wrld pull aside, I'd have to say, with an aspect of it, just relief from like a typical day, I'd have to say here, kind of an adult combo. So this with them pitch, like Future being on this song, it's a good nice one that they teamed up for this. Basically like getting one of those type ones, just the fashion, very similar to Astronaut, some of those type tones within the product of it, just kind of the product as far as saying, is Future being on a song like All Girls Are the Same, and kind of like within a certain extent, like songs like that, some of those type ones. It's kind of that drowsy kind of cloud rap within a pitch as far as talking about songs that would be great for as like the sun sets just within the pitch alike. This late shift kind of snack runs and some of that drowsy type of appeal that Juice Wrld is good at. So it's just one of those aspects as far as what's going to have an excellent type of appeal. Transformers, an excellent one on here. It's a real favorable type one within the pitch as well. It says Nicki Minaj on here, which is pretty good type aspects just because she did drop Queen around this time. It's just within the pitch that felt like 2018 could have been louder for Nicki Minaj first was first going to happen. But I look within it, just being able to say, so Transformers like a rock hard kind of stunt night and get hammered. It had to say within the aspects here, just a razzled kind of primary feature within some of these type moments here, just a trap staple. It had to say good type pitch. So yeah, Nicki, this consistent kind of Nicki and Future being on like a typical kind of trap staple. Some of those particular type formats of it, this feels ripped out of like that same sort of format that is those Ragers. This traditional kind of floss and stunt type music that you would have gotten out of 2015, 2017, 2019, 2021, some of those type pitches. So this particular type form, just real heavy type one with the aspect, real good tone. Don't know if I've talked about Afterlife, but this is a quality one. This is a Future solo song. It's like a bleary kind of usual trap dredge kind of get here. It just feels like a Dirty Sprite 2 leftover. I'd had to say, just some quick times and just rumination out and about pitches like that, just amongst the aspect, just come kind of more in motion, just on the go, kind of outing, just extra thoughts pitches like that. Good song to toke to as far as those first happen. So this traditional type fare, probably the product that just something that just feels real. It just does feel like a leftover, just kind of extra moments from Future as far as those fares. Good product to have one of these on here as far as those fares would kind of have just the product of some of that typeness. When you think of songs like Blow a Bag, not as full bound, kind of extra moments type thought, just when the pitch, not as like within the same format as songs like Blow a Bag from Dirty Sprite 2, but just not as like heavy within the pitch, not as tugging within the format. It's a good type tone to be able to get that there within the pitch. Ain't Living Right is a nice one. It's like an offshoot of Lucid Dreams, I had to say here, just a little bit narrower within the pitch, just a little bit more ambient, not quite a, this is basically like a tormented kind of cloud trap haze kind of get with like Gunna along for the ride pitches like that, and this is a pretty woozy type one. Yeah, this song's like a definite good cousin of Lucid Dreams, just within the format. It's the same sort of aspect. Just when I look after the tone, I just feel like the beat production, this one's just a little bit more lambent and kind of stretching. It's just a little bit more Sunset Gaze or Sunset Pier and pitches like that. It's within the same format. This is the same sort of torment and just kind of malign as like Lucid Dreams. Just for somehow it's just not as snappy in terms like the radio type appeal, but it is within the same product. If you like songs like Lucid Dreams, I'd say within the format, just minus like the full bound, just kind of minus like the same kind of routine, kind of just familiarity of that particular song. This is like a good format to get something within that same vein that has the same aspect within those appeals behind it. So it's just good type pitch, just from the aspect within that tone. Juice Wrld does the hook on this song, Ain't Living Right. It's just within the pitch. So within the product of it, that same sort of relative torment within that aspect, good type tone. Some cloud trap kind of haze within the aspect there. Trying to think of other songs like Hard Work Pays Off. This is a nice one. This is one of the more popular songs off this mixtape according to Spotify. It's like a day's kind of day shift radio grab to kind of get here. This vintage kind of Juice Wrld jingle it had to say with an aspect, and this is like Future on like a poppy kind of cloud trap as far as what's supposed to happen. So just within the pitch, just getting something of like those day shift kind of Juice Wrld songs I was talking about within the pitch, as the heat, him particularly being more amidst like the makeshift kind of SFW type fare. And this, not to say like this is Hustlers makeshift, but this kind of format, if you were to take Future on like a song that you would listen to on the radio at like, 10 o'clock in the morning, brunch hours, pitches like that, just kind of somewhat, not so much amidst like the morning scene, but just kind of pitch of like between probably I'd say 10:30 a.m. to probably about 1:32 p.m. pitches like that, just kind of the lunch shift and day shift type fare within the product of getting like Panera Bread and Target type music within the format. It's not to say that Future didn't do these, he does do some of these type of moments, but it's just kind of within the factor, just kind of having it be more within the SFW, just kind of straightforward type sense of this particular, just being like a radio grab. But it's just interesting with the aspect as far as getting to that particular tone. It's just the pitch. Now, to say it's not, now Future has done these. He did do these moments like Ball Forever. He did some of these type of moments off of Streets Calling, some of those type of ones that was pretty pop rap oriented within the pitch. But it's just kind of format as far as saying, just getting that to like the radio market for like the the late 2010s and early 2020s, and this 2020s crowd within the aspect behind it. Folks that were not as familiar with some of the dynamite that Future did with like the Streets Calling days and the Pluto days, the Pluto 3D days, some of those type pitches, and FBG the movie, some of those type fairs. Just kind of a good product of introducing Future like the particular crowd is like the paradigm started to shift within some of those type formats for like new markets and those sorts of folds. So it's this good aspect. I'm trying to think of other songs I haven't talked about on here. I don't know if I talked about Different. This is another nice one. Different's like a cloudy and brooding kind of drug blitzer to kind of get here. Just basic kit for commerce that I'd say just errands and task fare as far as those first kind of. So this one's just like Red Bentley, some of those type tones within it. This consistent kind of trap banger just in the aspects as far as what's supposed to happen. Has a cat on here named Young Band's pretty dope appeal for that particular aspect. So just a good type tone getting some of these. I don't know if I talked about Make It Back either. It's like a Juice Wrld solo song within these pitches. Make It Back's a nice one. This feels like a cousin of like the 2018 single from Goodbye and Good Riddance, Wasted, as far as what's going to happen. It's kind of extra noise for hang out and mid dance off as far as those pitches can have. So this was the product. I mean, some of those type of moments that you would have that were kind of Juice Wrld moments off of like some of those moments off of Juice Wrld's 2018 album, Goodbye and Good Riddance, that were kind of dance type moments, but not really as full bound, kind of like bust a move, full bound pitches like that, but just kind of within the product to have like that kind of. Some of those type moments like the later singles off of Goodbye and Good Riddance, like Lean With Me, Armed and Dangerous, and Wasted, some of those type moments that would kind of be dance-off type fare just within pitch and just like the product. I mean, the thing that Juice Wrld did with that particular 2018 album is he made dance-type music, but it wasn't full-bound kind of amidst the dance floor as much as it is just the product of kind of haphazard. It's kind of the product of more having a drink in your hand kind of dance-type music where it's kind of halfway kind of rocking with it, but kind of within the product of just kind of just amidst like dance nights, but just within the festivity of having like the occasion, like some good have some good kickoff and kind of get crunk type moments, but more in the motion and just having more commotion. It's not so much like house party kind of red cup type sleeves, as much the pitch it displaces, or it would be kind of a dance club, but just less focused on like the aspect of really getting to busting like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 moves on the dance floor. It's this kind of pitch that was the same product of what 2018 kind of did with with the Goodbye and Good Riddance kind of album. This is the same sort of product that the Goodbye and Good Riddance album did within those aspects. This kind of an extra offshoot to kind of get within those formats that just that consistent fare. So just more bonus kind of Juice Wrld, some of those type pitches. You get bonus Future on here, just some good products of what he was up to, just extra kind of cuts, just having more primary Future. Just he lays this album with like some pretty excellent ones like Transformer, Afterlife, songs like that, Different, some of these type of ones, and like Oxy, obviously some of those type pitches within formats. Just the pitches first thing. So you get some of these. Probably could have used another Juice Wrld solo song, some of those type pitches, just to see what else he could have had within those aspects. I mean, he does pump out like a number of hooks on here if you do like the particular Lucid Dream. Thinking of like Lucid Dreams and All Girls Are the Same, Juice Wrld, some of those type pitches, Lean With Me, some of those type products of it, and Wasted, some of those type ones. Kind of the product I would say, some of the hooks, Juice Wrld, I would say with an immediate touch sense would definitely be. I think Fine China's a nice one. I'd probably say Hard Work Pays Off has some of that radio appeal. I'd say Shorty has that vintage kind of day shift kind of Juice Wrld with an aspect of like Goodbye and Good Riddance vibes, and I'd say Astronaut's a good one for some of those type aspects. Those are like the ones that have more cloud trap than that. I mean, this album particularly blends like the fair cloud trap, bringing trap music to like cloud rap, some of those particular type of appeals, but some of the ones that are kind of more of like a shift for getting used to like the Juice Wrld sound for folks that don't have as much full boundness with trap, that's kind of format, and kind of the pitch of having trap getting more used to the Juice Wrld type sound would be songs like Jet Lag, and I'd probably say like Jet Lag, and then like Jet Lag and Realer than, or Jet Lag and Realer, and I'd probably say like Jet Lag and Realer and Different. Some of those type ones I'd say. The pitch. I don't think I've talked about Realer and Realer. I think this is the last one. Speaking of Realer and Realer, I don't think I've talked about this one. It's like a feeling sparky, kind of out in the air. I'd have to say here, just early evening scene kind of pep. I'd say within the pitch behind it, just a cloud trap kind of stun as far as what's supposed to happen. Just within the pitch, kind of a Juice Wrld type song. This particular song has some Juice Wrld type flavor, or something that would be the aspect of just like 5:45 pitches like that, 6:15, just with the aspect of like Pink Skies is like the time. Pink Skies aspects is like the work shift kind of winds down pitches like that, and it also has like the trap aspect of getting towards like the conduct of just having like the. It also has like the trap aspect of real. It also has like the trap aspect of figuring out some next moves within the format of what's going to particularly happen within the tone as far as getting towards this. So just basic cloud trap, just the format of getting like the typical kind of drowsy and aspect of just more floaty kind of aspects within like a more kind of dazing shift and kind of going to like the flip mode of figuring out what's going to happen. So it's basically just like a flip mode kind of cloud rap song within the pitch behind it. Just future kind of getting ready to get crunk in those type formats, but just kind of being more in like the transit type mode of just getting out of like particular work clothing, pitches like that, figuring out as these next moves are going to happen, some of those stuff there. So I just look after it. Just good stunt type song. It's kind of the commerce of a good song that goes along with different, some of those type moments, some of those type pitches I had to say. Yeah, I look after it. So pretty affluent mixtape, I'd say, within the tone behind it. I think I talked about all 16 songs on here finally within those pitches I had to say, so I just look after it. 10 out of 10 score. The social score I'll probably give more or less, yeah, I'd say I'll give the social score like a 10 out of 10. I look within the product. The only reason why I wouldn't is just the pitch as far as saying that this does not have many singles. I feel like this is a very briefly promoted type product just within the pitch, considering all the collaborations and the stuff that went along with it. It just felt like it was a little bit briefer within the pitch. I feel like this is some bonus kind of Juice Wrld songs within the pitch, and this is like some extra fare for future as far as what's fair is kind of happen with it. I feel like this is some good victory lap, kind of extra fare for future as far as those aspects kind of having just consistently strengthening the muscle of like the product of just more further trap dominance. I also look at this being like some good bonus kind of Juice Wrld type fare within the pitch as far as saying it's kind of more extra type moments to kind of get for him within the relative short catalog as to how it particularly kind of happened. But at the time it wasn't known about that, but it's the pitch as far as saying just getting some consistent kind of secret kind of bangers from Juice Wrld, some of those type aspects as far as saying just some ones. If you're familiar with Goodbye and Good Riddance, songs like Lucid Dreams obviously, and All Girls Are the Same, some of those type products within it, just having an extra type one. Vine Tron is definitely an excellent type example that does feel like an offshoot of Juice Wrld, some of those type pitches, and I'd probably say No Ish is a pretty nice one for like the Hendrix type feature within those formats. So just good type pitch. Just has the moments on here. Good aspect being able to get towards some of these. Definitely stay within the tone. I like these trap bangers on here, like the fusion of making it cloud trap, some of these type pitches. Pretty druggy type album on top of that, like I said. Warning label kind of album within pitch like that. You probably will get hammered out of your mind, and definitely should come with like a disclaimer as far as this pitch can happen. But look, after just being able to say, so in terms of the future, like the unfortunate thing is Juice Wrld is the unfortunate aspect of it is this is a one shot in terms of like a future and Juice Wrld type collab, because Juice Wrld is deceased as far as what's supposed to happen. But definitely in the pitch, there is further future type albums, pitches like that. He has plenty of mixtapes, some of those type fairs. Juice Wrld does have a few more projects, something like that. I want to say he at least has some mixtapes or EPs, some of those type fairs, but within the pitch, it was definitely a good offshoot, just out of nowhere type banger that just did these concoctions, had some excellent timing, and just nailed it. So it's just a classic in terms of late 2010s trap and a blossoming kind of cloud rap era that just fused these things and did it excellently. Just a banging type one that's very underappreciated.